Hey guys, we're nearly done with the end of year show season. It was the Asia Artist Awards like a week ago. The red carpet was actually interesting, and I think that's because quite a few of the groups wore their stage looks. And I know I always comment stage looks on the red carpet, it's hit or miss, but I'm just so bored of classic suits and little black dresses that I'm so happy we have stage looks on this red carpet because I actually have something to discuss. Anyway, let's get straight into the red carpet. If you're new here, hi, hello, I'm George. I speak about K-pop fashion. If you've not subscribed yet, go ahead and do it. It's free, and I'm going to be uploading a video every week, if not more. First out onto the carpet of the Asia Artist Awards, we have QWER, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, what I'm so bored of seeing. Little black dresses with little to no styling at all. And I think the thing for me with this set of looks on QWER is the fact that I don't think any of these dresses are particularly flattering on any of the members, and I don't think they're particularly nice dresses, period. We are getting cohesion coming through from the off-the-shoulder cuts, the strapless cut, but that's about it. We're getting different cuts, different silhouettes. We're getting this very awkward mid-calf cut, which just looks bizarre with the shoe choice cutting her off right at the ankle. I think what it is when you're doing a little black dress moment is that there's such a lack of interesting silhouette, and the black is photographing so flat. Of course, we're getting the sequin on the member that's on the middle right. Sorry, I'm new to QWER. I don't know the members' names yet. But yeah, there's not enough texture coming through, not enough silhouette, and then obviously we're not getting any color. So average. WHIB, another example of what I dislike on a K-pop red carpet, seeing a young group in a really classic look. This group have years and years and years to wear this style of tuxedo. They can wear this when they're like 46 years old, going to a black tie event. How does a classic tuxedo look reflect this group's aesthetic? It doesn't. I just went and watched their Kick It MV to see what the vibe is because I'm not familiar with WHIB, and this just doesn't match their aesthetic. Do you know what I mean? I want to see red carpet looks that match the group aesthetic, are inspired by their most recent comeback, not just a tuxedo that anyone could wear. Up next we have NewJeans, and I have openly never really been a fan of how NewJeans have been styled on a red carpet, but this is hands down probably one of the worst NewJeans red carpet looks I've seen. It's just, what is going on? It's all over the place. Minji on the very right, literally wearing a t-shirt and a rah-rah skirt at a red carpet event. It just, what the fuck? And the shoes are criminal. The socks with the like, just how do you even describe it? Hanny's one where the sock is like over the shoe is probably the worst. It's just a bit all over the place for me. The striped shirt on Hien, and then on Danielle we're getting this pink gingham. At least I think it's gingham. This is quite a low-res picture. I find as the end of year show season goes on, the resolution of the pictures gets less and less and less, and like Asia Artist Awards and Golden Disc are always such a struggle. When I was searching for the pictures, I saw this tweet and I thought it just kind of summed this up perfectly. Leaving the agency has consequences, and one of them is the budget for your stylist. I don't know what the situation is with the brands that each one represented, but this gives a very bad image to them, and if there is still no official announcement of ceasing to be an ambassador. And I just think this is so true. Like, look at groups like aespa, Ning Ning coming out in the Versace dresses this end of year show season, and they've always been like mwah moments on her. That is representing a brand. Like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Where are you? Celine. I do feel really bad for NewJeans though. Like, I really wish that they came out of the Asia Artist Awards in these insane red carpet looks. It was a slay, it was a moment, because they've had a rough year. And this is not how you want to finish your rough year with this red carpet look. Zerobaseone, this is a nice red carpet look. I feel like it's that contemporary vibe that we see a lot on the K-pop red carpet, but this end of year show season is such an improvement. I feel like last year I was giving them such a hard time. They were definitely trying to discover their style, find what works for them, and they have found it. I don't think it's anything necessarily groundbreaking, but every time they do come out on a red carpet, they deliver a cohesive look. It's contemporary and it really does fit them well. Like, the cuts on each of the members, like, it's gone from like 10 to 100, do you know? So I have no complaints. They all look great. Next up, we have NCT Wish, and this is also their stage look as well as their red carpet look. I like the idea of it. For me, I don't like the colors. I don't like the combination of this kind of just like flat mid brown with the navy blue and then the yellow tied in. It's just not a color palette that I like. I like the way that the jackets have been styled, slightly cropped ones, normal average length, and then they're quite boxy. We're getting that kind of like school uniform vibe, but not. We're getting the patches. Do you know what I mean? There are nice elements of these looks. It's just the color palette for me that's just like, I'm glad it's not black and white, but I think just going for some stronger colors that are more complementary would have been the ticket, you know? And team, it's nice to see and team in something that's not a school uniform varsity vibe. I think that was definitely their aesthetic last end of year show season. And I do like this contemporary all black lineup. There are things that I would change though. I think where we're getting the same fabrication across all of the members, it's just reading a bit flat. I think if you're doing all black with a lineup of members, you need to have different textures so it picks up differently when it's being photographed. I know obviously they have this fur texture coming through, but it doesn't pick up like a leather wood or like a suede, a velvet, things like that, that would really just make this more exciting. I think all of the cuts are really nice, they're really interesting. I do like the fact that they've included this fur, but I don't like how it's been used. I feel like it's just been used in any which way to bring some individuality to the looks, but I don't think it's been used thoughtfully. It also reminds me of Zerobaseone's looks. I don't remember which award show red carpet it was, but they had like the fur sashes and shit, and it just looks so bizarre. So I think this isn't a path that people should go down. Kiss of Life, this is a slay. There's nothing else to really say. Like, that's it for Kiss of Life. This is a slay. This was also their stage look. You can see straight away it's giving Matrix vibes. When I watched the performance, I was like 100%. Even like the colors of the lights on stage were giving Matrix vibes. I love how each member has a different style of look going on, but we're getting this like pleather throughout, and I like the giant rivets on Belle, on Natty, and then we're getting more of the stud detail coming through on Natty and Hanul. What I really like as well is how each member has a chunky boot on, but we're getting a different style, like Belle, for example, under the knee, Julie over the knee, Hanul has more of those like leg pieces, and then Natty, we don't really see her boots, but then she's got these lace front trousers, and the hardware of that lace front just ties into the other members, so it's really cohesive. I think it has impact on the red carpet, and it's not necessarily like it doesn't fit, but this is what just brings interest to this red carpet, all of the stage looks. There's something more to discuss than just flat tailoring, so I've really enjoyed this red carpet, okay? Bring more stage looks to the red carpet because they are actually so much more interesting. Moving on to Yuri, this look is on the complete other end of the spectrum from Kiss of Life, who are giving us like pleather, hardcore Matrix vibes, to this very like soft feminine moment. What I love about this dress is the top half of it. I think it fits really nicely across the bust, and then you can see that there's this really nice detail at the waist that wraps and then flares back over her hip, and then it drapes into the skirt of the dress. I think the skirt of the dress is too voluminous. I think if it was less voluminous, it would have really played into this like sculpture moment that they were going for. And I also feel like it just kind of swamps her a little bit. Like you can see that she's so tiny, so petite, and then to have all this volume, I think it's just a bit much for her. It's just my opinion anyway, but I do think this dress is really beautiful, really soft, and she looks stunning. EXO Suho, there's not really much to say about this suit, is it? It looks like the kind of thing you'd wear to work or a funeral, to be completely honest. And this is why I just don't like seeing this kind of thing on a red carpet. It's just, it could be anything, do you know? So next, we're gonna speak about a boy group now who are finding their style this red carpet season. And this set of looks really shocked me because it's like a complete 180 from what they've been giving us before. This more contemporary vibe. There were really cool details, very, very contemporary, but the fits were just always off. And one of you in the comments let me know that the members of this group are around 180 centimeters tall, which isn't far off my height. And I was like, what do you mean? Those outfits were making them look so short. So this complete switch up to us, shook. I feel like they've tried to go for this more like classic direction, but they've kept it contemporary with the details. I think the style of the ties being skinnier, the way that they've been styled on some of the members like slightly looser, other members more up, but then we're getting a mixture of collarless jackets where the break is really, really high. And I also really like the introduction of the pinstripe. I wish we had like another member in the pinstripe just to balance out that a little bit. I do like this set. I think it could be more interesting though, because I think they've delivered like really interesting looks, but the fits were off. Whereas this time they've delivered something that's not as interesting, but the fit on each member is a lot better, and you can actually see that they're fucking tall. So yeah, I think they need to kind of like start meshing the two. But I really enjoyed seeing To Us on the red carpet this end of year show season, because you can tell that they're finding their style like Zerobaseone were last year. So I'll be interested to see what they wear next end of year show season, because Zerobaseone did it. BIBI has worn some incredible dresses this end of year show season, and this is another incredible dress. My issue with it is the proportion. I think this burgundy red tone on her is beautiful. The halter neck shape really just is like mwah on her body. And I like this tassel texture and how then it drapes off the hem of the dress. I think what the issue is the proportion. This dress looks like it's been cut way too short. I think if the hemline of the dress was maybe like 2-3 inches longer, and then we had that drape of the tassel, so it was just finishing like just above the knee, like grazing her knee, I think that would make it a better fit on her and a better proportion on her. I think the shoe is nice, the T-bar and the hairstyle with it, like she just looks great. The proportion's just off. The girls are girling. We have SSERAFIM, and when I first saw this, I was like, is this their stage look? I'm unsure. It is their stage look for their performance, and I'm so in love with the set of looks because it really does lean into crazy, but they also performed 1-800 Hot and Fun, and I think this is like a perfect blend of those two aesthetics of the songs. We're getting the plaid, the lacing down the trousers on Unche. We're getting this immense print clash on Sakura, the leopard print, the plaid, and then the hardware of the zips, the chokers. Kazuha, she has this really cute printed dress. You can see that there are these love hearts in different scales, slightly warped as well, and they're like flaring around the dress. And then that oversized leather jacket, the sheer sock that's got all of the laddering, the holes in it, and then that double platform Dr. Martin, great look. Chaewon, we're getting that kind of like Rolling Stones tongue, the fur on her skirt tying into the leopard jacket on Sakura, and then her tights. I don't think they've been laddered, but you can just see that there's a design to her tights that tie into that distressed sock on Kazuha. And then NewJeans look, her look, I feel like holds the other members together because she's got each of the color palettes in this color blocking style. She's got the fur, she's got the hardware on the boots, and I think this worked really well on stage. And it was just nice to see this from them on the red carpet because it really does play in to the aesthetic of their comeback crazy, and this is what I want to see more of. WayV, this is also WayV's stage looks, and I think they work really nicely on the red carpet as well because we are getting that tailored element. I really like the jackets and how we're getting this embellishment that's coming from the collar across the shoulders, and it's in slightly different designs across the members. Do you think of like 10 in the middle? It's more of an asymmetric cut. I think the color palette is also really nice. I think they're grays, but the way they're picking up on camera is pulling like purpley and blue, but like the different tones of grey. And one of you on my TikTok told me that the trousers are inspired by traditional Chinese trousers, and I like the details of them, how we're getting the paneling, the pockets coming down, the wrap detail on 10. I just think the proportions of them are slightly off where they've been tucked into the boot because it gives you more of a shortened leg, especially on 10, for example. You can see he's got this like true low rise, so it makes his legs look so short, just where it's then being cut off by the boot. So I do like the looks overall. I think there are just some proportion issues. Day 6, I think this is a nice set of all black looks. It plays into the unspoken rule of the K-pop red carpet, and each look fits each member really nicely. Like the cuts are just on point for them, but apart from that, not much to say. NCT 127, you have no idea how happy I am to see them in something that's not a classic fucking tuxedo. I have never understood NCT 127's red carpet style, how they always come out in these boring classic tuxedos. It pains me every end of year show season. I think this is the first time, honestly, since doing these videos for like 3 years, that I've seen them in something that's not a classic tuxedo. So to see them rock up to the Asia Artist Awards, they're wearing their stage look, black, white, and red, immediately such a strong color palette. I love that we're getting the matching jackets across all of the members, but then the paneling on the trousers on the lower half of the body, that's what's giving us the differentiation, oh my God. And then you can see each member has been styled slightly differently underneath. Really strong set of looks. I think it works really nicely on the red carpet, but then also it works really nicely as stage looks. I need to see something different. Let's wrap it up with our host, starting with Hanbin. I like the fact that he had this change from his look with Zerobaseone to be with the host, and how his look works beautifully with the other hosts, but it's more of a contemporary vibe. He's a young idol, and the styling of his host look is staying true to that. Whereas, you know, when we see hosts who are maybe in their 30s, they're an actor, they're in a group that was from like the third generation or whatever, they give you more of a classic vibe. He's like, what, fifth? Zerobaseone fifth generation. So we're getting this more classic vibe, that Chanel style jacket, cropped cut, elongating the leg, the chunky boot. Really great look, and I feel like the texture of the tweeds, it works really nicely with Wonyoung's dress. This dress is beautiful, this sweeping cut across the bust, and then the beautiful drape across the arm, so soft, so feminine, snatched at the waist, and then it flares out. Do you see what I mean? If I put this side by side of Yuri's, Wonyoung's dress doesn't look like it's too much for her, whereas Yuri's dress, where she's quite petite, the volume's just too much, that needed to be taken in. But Wonyoung's dress, stunning. The texture of it and how it ties into Hanbin's, beautiful job. And then our third host on the very right, NewJeans, giving us the very classic tuxedo vibes, classic evening wear. Like I said when I was talking about Hanbin, he's an actor. How old is he? Let's check, just, you know, back up my theory. So he's 38 years old. Fucking doesn't look it. But you can see he's giving us more of that classic vibe. We're getting this shawl lapel white evening jacket. It's double-breasted 2-button, I believe. We're getting that beautiful, slightly oversized bow tie, and then the navy trouser. It could be black. I don't know whether it's the way it's photographing. I would like to hope that it's black, just so then it really ties it into the color palette. Not that the navy offends too much. And then he's got that like velvet shoe, so true classic men's evening wear. And then of course we have Wonyoung's red look. I love this dress. It's so beautiful. It's really festive. The way we have the bow that then falls into the skirt and it's giving us that puffball silhouette, short in the front, longer at the back, and you can see it has a nice train that drops to the floor. The only thing I question is the choice of shoe. This flat red shoe, the Mary Jane strap. It would have been so much nicer with a heel, but she's our host. Let's give the girl's feet a break. I think this red carpet has been a lot more interesting because we are seeing more stage looks, and I feel like, you know, let's make that more of a thing because it's just so much more pleasing. My best dressed, I would have to say Kiss of Life, SSERAFIM, Wonyoung, and NCT 127. Again, most of the stage looks. My least favorite looks, QWER, WHIB, both of the more younger groups, so you know, maybe they don't have as much budget for styling, but then just wear your stage looks. I'm sure they're a lot more interesting than the tuxedos or little black dresses. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your favorite and least favorite looks. I'll be back in a few days' time with my Golden Disc Awards video. If you've not subscribed already, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss that video. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye guys.